Alright.
Now then.
By the way, when do we depart from the island? Not soon, I take it?
No.
No, I imagine Eurus needs time to craft the fake lance, so let's wait until he tells us it's complete. Fidelio's recovery is a fine excuse for us to stay put.
True.
If we only need to be there by Saint's Day, then we have some time yet to attend other matters. We ought to hone our skills or gather more support before we depart. And if Eupha is really to join us, then let's make sure she's caught up to speed, make sure she tags along.
Hold on.
What should we talk about? The status of our request? No, I already know what my requests have got going on. It's a good thing we were able to convince the Magnus brothers to stay on the island until our fake lance is ready.
Most helpful.
We cannot idly while away the time, yet more battles await us, so we should ensure our archetypes are up to the task. I believe the meal is well earned, yada yada, let's retire. Alright, well, that all went well. What's this?
Apologies for the intrusion.
Something wrong, love? It's late.
My brother had already retired for the day, so I thought I'd wait for tomorrow to tell him. But now that I find myself alone with my thoughts, I'm quite nervous.
Think you'll be able to tell him yourself?
If I cannot even do that, there would be little point in leaving the island. He will understand. After all, he left long before I did. What is that book?
Oh, it's a fantasy novel. He's never without it.
This nerd reads.
A fantasy? But what is it a fantasy of?
You see, it's the Final Fantasy.
It's a story about an ideal world.
Well, so you do not merely strive against evil. You have a vision for the world's betterment.
Tis a world where all people are equal and no conflict exists. Much like the world His Highness once dreamt of.
In truth, 'tis difficult to envisage. All I have known is our own island's history and doctrine, and naught beyond it. So, well, would it be all right if I read some? Remarkable. Despite all the people share in common, the world is filled with myriad faiths and beliefs. Accordingly, those in search of spiritual meaning may seek and find many different teachings to guide them. I see. So the people of this world are free to believe as they will. Anyone may follow any god, any dogma.
So basically the opposite of the Sanctus Church.
Our legends say that the ancient world was full of all manner of beliefs too. The people of Elda worshipped many gods from many pantheons. People confronted the anxiety that haunted them.
Thinking back, some of those figures in the temple murals may have been gods.
Yes, that mural depicting myriad gods is an explanation of how this world came to be.
But ultimately, war claimed everything. Suppose that means it wasn't much of a utopia, right?
Perhaps freedom unchecked gave rise to conflict. Either way, to know the past is to ensure history does not repeat. If we are to create a utopia rooted in our world, faith is not enough. We must move onward and take action as allies. Because I believe that's how this must be used. This power that guides us to ideals. To walk forward, firmly, fearing nothing.
She's a real team member now.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
You're not actually a team member until you read a passage from the book. That's what locks you in.
Your pardon?
Eupha, and the mainlanders. What is it?
Brother, I must speak with you. Until now, I have understood nothing. But it is not merely the teachings I failed to grasp. I did not understand Mother and Father's wishes, nor indeed your own. As the priestess, I am duty-bound to protect our village. And I would do so not with a weapon, but with understanding. Brother, please permit me to travel alongside these people.
Your own journey. I never thought I'd see the day you'd ask to leave.
We can look after her.
My own journey's end freed me from our customs. Perhaps, had I sought comrades and friends of my own to walk with, I would have found purpose. So be it. Go and see this world with your own eyes. As a parting gift, Eupha, I entrust this to you.
What is it?
Mother's Kakara. With this staff in hand, she would travel the lands beyond our shore, seeking to spread our teachings.
I did not know she'd left anything behind. I gladly accept.
I must ask, Eupha, what do you plan to call yourself, once off the island?
What do you mean? I am the priestess of Virga Island. Should I be called anything else?
Indeed. To outsiders, we are only the islanders. We have hardly named the land, much less our humble village. We once saw no need for a name. We had rejected the world outside for so long, we knew but two lands. Those within our borders, and those without. Now that the truth of our traditions has been restored, we may celebrate them. And in that spirit, I would like to name our village.
Our home will have a name?
By your efforts, there is no longer any doubt. The dragon god Et is our village's guardian deity. Thus, it seems only right to call it the home of the dragon god Et. Etria. One day, after years untold, I hope Etria will be a bustling town. People from far and wide will meet here. It will be worthy of its name. At least, that is my fantasy.
His final fantasy.
I think I found a world I want to be a part of. To that end, everyone, I look forward to our journeys together.
So, you're off to Altaberry. You'll have to watch for the tide, but you should arrive with plenty of time. If you have time yet to relax, our island home is humble, but I hope it is to your liking.
Go, rank 12! After defeating the human and saving Eupha alongside Virga Island, I gained their support. We're blazing a path to defeating Luis and saving the prince, one step at a time. I'm almost in the top 10, baby!
Well then.
Just lovely.
Okay. Hello.
Not finished yet?
Have you brought me a polar stone by any chance? It took some effort.
Isn't that wonderful?
Ah, you found at least one of my stones, and I can make a doll for my grandchild. You've saved me. No, you've saved my grandchild's life. Rumors were true then. You really do have a good heart. Take a little extra with my thanks.
Mission accomplished.
We've done it. Passionate raps. Look at all that money. We are loaded. That makes 2 of the stones, as promised. Here's an additional. Yeah, I only found 2, not 3. I'll take the elixir, though. Here, for me, my son, and his wife, we all want you to have this. Wait, I thought the whole reason you had us gather these was because you couldn't tell your family you dropped them. Yes, at first I intended to hide my mistakes, but after I sent you off, I gave it more thought. The stones are guiding tools for us fisher folk that we might find the right path. Could I really pass them to my grandchild under such deception?
I feel fine.
Ah, they were shocked to be sure, but in the end, all of them, even my grandchild, simply laughed and forgave me. And when I told them about you, they were all moved that you would go so far for a complete stranger.
Thank you, dearie.
It isn't much, but we'll all be supporting your bid for that throne of yours. Seems like we ended up getting a lot out of this, huh, Rogue? Let's go! Eupha.
Excuse me.
Before, I didn't mean to talk to Gallica, leave me alone. I keep hitting triangle because I'm thinking of how to open the menu in Digimon World Next Order. Not equipment. I wanted to look at followers. We can get Stroll to 7. Juna. So this must be Eupha. It's gotta be Eupha. And then we have one more party member, presumably. What do we have going on with you guys? What do you all need? Must protect the town, yada yada. Oh, right, we have to kill the human. We'll probably do that during this deadline. Maria, what do you need? I don't know what to do. I need more tolerance. I'm too racist to talk to the small child. Hulkenberg needs more wisdom. Schroll can rank up. I really wish they would let me rank up Juna, but it's not an option. Okay. And then I don't know how to get to Katharina. I really shouldn't wait too long on Barden. And I should try to... We should use some of this deadline to get our... Should use this deadline to get some of our social stats up, I think. We'll also most likely get Stroll. Wrong button. Most likely get Stroll to rank 7. What's going on, Eupha?
It's all right.
Don't worry, the tides will change. We'll arrive in Altabury all the same.
Well,
There's something I'd like to ask of you. You see, I'm not quite accustomed to life outside the island yet. To avoid any blunders on our forthcoming travels, I'd like to learn about the world ahead of time. So I was wondering if you could tell me more about the other towns, even just a bit would suffice. Sure.
I'm quite grateful.
Thank you very much. Let us talk as we stroll the beach. Talk to Eupha about the busiest, most bustling streets in Grand Trad, Sunlumio Street.
Wow. It's nothing like Etria. Incredible. Oh, wait, do people in Grand Trad have big families?
Why do you ask?
What makes you think that?
If it's called Sunlumio Street, then all its residents are of the Sunlumio, are they not? On the island, places are named after the people who live there, so... Oh, maybe that's not how it works there? I'm sorry, I must come across so strangely.
Eupha?
Brother, I'm learning about the outside world from him. If I remain naive about it, I will only be a burden.
Does living beyond our borders make you anxious, Eupha?
A little. But I shouldn't be, no? This was my own decision.
It's natural to feel anxious about new things.
Precisely, yes. The first time I left the island, I was so nervous my knees shook.
Really? Is that true, brother?
No one steps out into the unknown without some trepidation in their heart. That said, people only fear what they don't know because they don't fully understand themselves. I believe this is your time, sister. You've heard of the trials of Malnever, have you not? It is an island where a peculiar monster lives, raised in stagnant magma. The monster reflects the anxiety of those who challenge it, and it provides those who overcome it with proof of their victory. I am one such victor, and I gained a great deal from it. I think you could stand to benefit as well, Eupha. You would count your new friends as reliable warriors, correct? Perhaps you might tempt them with the discarded treasures and armaments of our ancestors there. It will challenge you, to be sure, but you'll walk away better for it. Before you leave, consider testing your strength.
But... what if it proves too challenging?
We'll do it together, Eupha.
The weather on the island is unpredictable at best. We won't know how dangerous it will be.
I would never send my precious sister off without regard for her safety. I have some idea of how to handle the weather. Won't you put your faith in your new friend and me? Your focus must be solely on the trial.
I understand. If this proof you speak of will give me the power to step boldly into my future, then I will want for nothing else.
That's the spirit. If you do decide to go, pay me a visit before heading out. I would see you all off safely.
This one's important.
New quest. Ooh, 6.5 diamonds? We get wisdom up, which is great, though. Need to complete the trial in the deepest part of the land of ceremony for Eupha. The informant at Golden Deer Hearth on Verga Island should know more about the monsters.
Yes, that's the place. You know, I wouldn't mind visiting if we've the time.
And right there's a labyrinth. This place.
Okay,
Nice little
okay.
village.
And we
And
still need to
right
go down to
there's
here
a
as
labyrinth.
well. We got a lot going on.
Well, rather mysterious, isn't it? But knowing you'll be at my side, I admit, I do find my courage. A trial awaits. Please, lend me your strength.
Hey, hasn't that island been abandoned for quite some time? I hope the Magla isn't too strong. But you'd better be prepared for the worst, okay?
Yeah, I'm on it. I know what I'm doing. Do. That didn't even take up my day, huh? Well, now...
All right, then.
Just checking to see if I spot any other quests to pick up. Take me to the hearth so I can buy from the informant real quick.
Fancy a bit of info?
Hello there, is there something you'd like to know? Yada, yada, yada. The Land of Ceremony Trial.
Want in on this?
Land of Ceremony is a special place for us before they venture outside the island. Our youth go there to face a trial. It's not mandatory, of course. According to what I've heard, the trial itself tasks the subject with defeating the monster within. It is said to be a bizarre creature that doesn't resemble any living thing. I wonder if it truly is a monster. Rumor has it that it likes to summon its little friends. Its companions strengthen it, and then it hits you with a barrage of wind. Apparently, it's weak to fire. Best use that to your advantage and end things quickly. I'm so good at beating things weak to fire. There's a bird-like monster called a Leogryph there. The closer you are, the worse it attacks gets. If I were you, I'd attack it from a distance and avoid using wind magic since it won't be effective. Better make sure we're ready first. Think of his attack Academia as in order. All right, thank you. What is my current thing that I need to do for more to rank up?
Grand, innit?
Hey.
I didn't mean to talk to you.
What now?
Let me just look at my requests in general. Trial of Malnova. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5. 6.5, huh? The right to rule. 6 stars for doing the fight with Barden. One-eyed scoundrel. Increases courage. This one is also 6.5. All of the difficulty rankings are 6.5. I am worried about if we'd actually be able to handle them or not. We need to get a general to rank 15 to finish Moore's current task. Okay, okay. Let's get my boy Stroll to rank 7. I have 14 days. We have a lot of time to work with. But we also have some multiple day trips. We got the lance, and now all we need is the tide. I ought to stay busy so I don't overthink this. Regarding the matter of my inheritance, it seems my father's merchant friend reached out to Lord Hydron. I'd like to go to the Grand Cathedral and negotiate. If you have the time, would you accompany me? Of course.
Thanks.
Anything for my bro. Thank you. Then let's make for the royal capital. I hope this turns out for the best.